Hey, I'm back. I'm back home and ready for the weekly update. So we are coming down to the final reality of this legislative session. As always, it is a little bit frustrating when we have a legislative session, but this year, as you have all been aware, it has been extremely frustrating because it really does seem like our so-called representatives are interested in being petty and punitive rather than actually looking for solutions that are good for the people of Idaho. So some of the things they've talked about is saying, oh, well, you voted for us, so you should just sit back, not pay attention, and let us do whatever we want. And so part of the issue that we run into is the fact that, we are going to find out after this session and through next year, how serious are we as citizens of this state? How serious are we about holding our legislators responsible for what they do? So the real question is, are we going to forget this session next year? Are the people who are upset with this of all parties? There are people of all parties that have been upset with this session. Are they going to forget next year and go ahead and vote these folks back into office? I don't know. I guess we will see. So, so some things to keep in mind. First of all, tomorrow morning, the House State Affairs has a hearing for that awful SB 1159. Now, that bill passed by a single vote in the Senate late last week. So keep that in mind. This bill is revenge on voters, and that is plain and simple. You can actually look at a breakdown. I have a link here in the description. You can look at this breakdown that Colin Nash did. He did a really great job breaking down what the new requirements would be. So what he points out is that, so right now, Idaho is kind of middle of the road when it comes to states that have ballot requirements for ballot initiatives. We're about the middle of the road right now. But if SB 1159 becomes the law of the land, we would have the highest signature requirement, the second shortest circulation time, and the highest distribution requirement. So that kind of makes this the worst. This would make it the hardest state to get a ballot initiative on. Now, part of the reason that's happening is because we are once again being punished for taking care of things that the legislature should have taken care of. They should have taken care of affordable health care 6 years ago, and year after year, they keep the can down the road. And then when we passed a requirement, when we passed our own legislation through the ballot, now they are actively punishing us. So this is petty and this is punitive. That's plain and simple. They will lie. They say, oh, it has nothing to do with Medicaid expansion. They pretend like this, oh, this will help rural voters. Have any of you ever tried to gather signatures in the rural areas? 6 months to gather signatures in the rural areas is not enough. It is not, it's barely enough in what we would call urban areas here in Idaho. The bottom line is SB 1159 makes it so only lobbyists and PACs with the money to pay signature gatherers can do this. So this is an effectively taking away our constitutional right to redress the government for grievances and to petition. Because basically they're saying, we're not even going to listen to you unless you surmount these overwhelming odds. And if we let them get away with this, they will keep doing things like this over and over again. So you can send in testimony to the House committee by 7:50 a.m. Tuesday morning. There's information there in the description of how to do that. Also consider contacting Governor Little. I don't know about you, but does anybody here, if you really think the House is on our side and that the House is going to protect our rights, go ahead, raise your hand. Yeah, it's not going to happen. The House does not give a crap about us. They've shown that time and time again. They don't even care about children being forced into marriage. I mean, the House couldn't even protect children as young as 12 or 13 years old from being forced into marriage. They're surely not going to do this, protect us on this one. So consider calling the governor's office. There's also a petition going around from Reclaim Idaho. Consider signing that. There are more than 5,000 signatures so far. Also, keep a watch out for action on HB 277. We're waiting for them to just cram it up there anytime. At the Senate, the modus operandi this session has been to, well, first of all, a little more about a month ago, yell at everybody about following the rules and getting your stuff in on time. And then when it comes to votes on these things like HB 277, suspending the rules, making sure the rules don't apply, and then ramming this crap down our throats. So HB 277 is one of the worst bills related to the Medicaid expansion. It's also anti-woman buried in there, something that they don't show you in the summary, but you can find if you read in there, is that if you happen to be on Medicaid and you need a contraceptive, or you want to talk about having your tubes tied, or hysterectomy, or if you want some sort of pregnancy help, or any sort of OBGYN thing, you have to go to your primary care doctor and get their permission. So once again, this is proof that our House representatives don't trust our little lady brains to make our own decisions about our health care, and this is another move to restrict our health care. This bill is anti-woman. Fight me, I don't care. This bill is anti-woman and it is bad. So keep letting your senators know about that. Remind them that SB 1204 is a much better option. It is a true compromise for Medicaid expansion, and it doesn't come with the costliness that is that comes with HB 277. So HB 277 is more expensive and less effective and expands the government. So we are talking about a bunch of people who spend most of the year crying about how big the government is and how they wish it were smaller and how we need to be fiscally conservative. These people literally spend 3/4 of the year crying about that. And then they pass this bill, which is more expensive, less effective, and is full of government bureaucracy. So they're hypocrites. There is no other word to describe them. They are hypocrites. The people in the House who voted for this bill, if they have ever talked about being fiscally conservative, and if they've ever talked about small government, they are hypocrites. They passed this bill to catch a very small percentage of people, and the results, the consequences, that it'll cost more and be less effective. So it's ridiculous. If you have a few minutes, please make sure you go and thank Representative Raybould, who voted against HB 277, and Senator Lent, who voted against Senator Lent, who voted against SB 1159. So far, these are the only two Bonneville County legislators who are standing on our side rather than being actively hostile toward us. They need messages of support, and they need to know that we appreciate their effort to actually fight for us rather than against us. So there's a little more information there about, how to recall. It's probably not very likely though. So if you are tired of this BS from our representatives, it's time to get involved. Run for office or come volunteer to help. We will be starting campaigns, door knocking, and voter registration efforts very shortly, like this summer, because there's a lot going on and there's a lot we need to keep pushing for and a lot of things that we can do. And we need to always be working toward a much improved Idaho, and we always need to be working toward securing and making sure that we exercise citizen oversight. Because if there's anything we have learned in the last 5 years, is that citizen oversight of our so-called representatives is one of the most important things we can do. So I invite you to come on down, come to Pizza and Politics on April 13th. It will be at CEI in the Healthcare Education Building. That is Building 6 in room 6163. You can find out more about it on our Facebook page. But you can find it, but yeah, just come find out what it takes to run for office. And if you don't want to run for office, find out how you can help. Find out how you can help with door knocking this summer. Find out how we can keep moving forward. The other thing we want to do is our own issues town halls, but we can't do that unless we have the people power, right? So far right now, only our District 34 legislators are even holding town halls. Everybody else refuses. They don't even bother. The District 34, led by Representative Raybould, has been holding town halls. So, so if our legislators won't do it, it's up to us. So if you would like to come and help out, come to that Pizza and Politics on April 13th. Sign up to help be part of our town hall committee so that we can have issues town halls and engage the community, because our legislators aren't. Our legislators are just running off to Boise and acting like whatever they do is fine, regardless of what we have voted for and what we have asked for. And this Medicaid expansion issue is Exhibit A. Representative Zollinger, not only can he not be bothered to do forums and town halls, I mean, he wouldn't even hold a forum with his his opponent. Like, he refuses. So and Representative Ehart does too. She won't hold forums. She's not holding town halls. So and here in District 33, Medicaid expansion got 65% of the vote, and both of them still refused to support it as the voters asked for it. So these are two examples of people who just, they feel like they're entitled to your vote and that they are entitled to do whatever they want. And that's what they feel like. They are the picture of entitlement, especially Representative Zollinger, who instead of in a committee hearing, listening to the testimony of actual Idahoans without meeting in the hallway with lobbyists, with special interest money. So if we want to get over that, if we want to get beyond that, come to Pizza and Politics on April 13th, find out what you can do. Find out how you can help with the campaign, how you can help with the town hall, or how you can even run for office. So please help us. Finally, donate to the cause. This is the first time I've come begging for money in one of these, but here I am begging for money. Every dollar helps. So there's a link there. You can head on over to our Act Blue page where you can donate to the Bonneville Dems. This helps us as we, like I said, put on programs, put on our Pizza and Politics program, do our Quality of Life Festival that we do with the Progressives later this summer. It also helps us with various other events, and also allows us money to get a campaign headquarters during the campaign season. It helps us with candidates, giving money to candidates. So please donate, help us out. Every dollar helps. You can also attend the Truman Banquet, which is coming up on May 4th. It's our main fundraiser of the year. Most of what we raise through ticket sales and auctions goes straight to the candidates. So we try and put a lot of that money toward directly helping their campaigns or providing services that can help them with their campaigns. So if you want to support candidates who are ready to actually represent you in Boise, rather than take your vote for granted and just continue to abuse you, please either come to the Truman Banquet or donate to the Bonneville Dems. So thank you again so much. I know we're coming to the end of the session. I know we're tired, but we have to keep fighting, we have to keep moving, and we can't stop, and we have to continue to exercise citizen oversight until they listen to us and take us seriously.